Hi, everyone. Welcome back to GC365. I'm Kara, the children's pastor at Woodinville. And today we have the best guest. My father, Craig Schumann.
Hey.
Yay. Okay, so we're going to jump right in and talk about 1 Samuel.
Let's jump.
Okay, what did you get out of, or I guess what stood out in 1 Samuel to you?
Well, you know, as you read through, I mean, golly, this is probably the second time I've read through the whole Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Things come out that you just don't expect. And you look at things like this, and this whole thing we've been reading through, you know, the rules that God sets for people to follow.
Right.
And people always disappoint God.
Always.
And they don't recognize God as a king, so they go, give us our own king.
I know.
And finally, Samuel asks God, can they have their own king? And he goes, yeah, okay. All right. And they give him Saul. And you know, Samuel goes, look, here, I give you the example of what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And what does Saul do? Well, power and temptation, human beings.
Yep. And that's, see, I wonder why do you think God caved and gave them a king in flesh?
Well, he loves people.
I know, but like, just because you love someone doesn't mean you cave, you know, just because you love me doesn't mean you would give me anything I ever asked for.
Well, tell mom that, okay? but I think the key you got to find is God wants people to succeed and win.
And
they keep disappointing them.
Yep.
And anything you look at, the thing in the Proverbs, same sort of thing, that God talks about the power of the spoken word.
Right.
And in Proverbs here, the thing is the soothing tongue is the tree of life, perverse tongue crushes the spirit.
Yep.
The three powers that we have is the power of unity, the power of submission, and the power of the spoken word. And my gosh, you know, people keep disappointed. We keep working. We keep getting opportunities. And my gosh, that's, you know, God says, okay, I'm going to send you my son.
Right.
And that actually was the whole new covenant. And boy, do we keep disappointing.
Also messing that up. Poor Jesus.
Yep.
Even when I was talking today with someone about how people complain. I don't know about complain is the right word, but say like, oh, like people today say like, oh, well, we don't have Jesus in the flesh. How can we have faith? Except people in the New Testament had Jesus in the flesh in front of him and still didn't believe and still didn't follow him. So that has nothing to do with like your faith aspect, because he could be directly in front of you, like what has happened. And people are like, oh, you're not the son of God. You are clearly full of demons. Yeah. You are possessed.
The thing that's tough is when you're given free will, it's kind of like, okay, you know what's going to come with that.
Right.
But, you know, it's the power of the spoken word is so powerful. You know, in the Bible, it's mentioned 85 times in verses, and in the NIV version, 137 times.
Yeah.
So you think that if it's mentioned that many times, we got to watch what we say, what we speak, and what we do.
Right.
And I mean, just the reading here and just going through the Bible, my gosh, you see all the opportunities that we have to do right.
I know.
and the free will makes it tough.
I know. But then it wouldn't mean anything if we didn't have free will. It would mean nothing.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
One other thing that really stood out here is in the verses we read from John. And you see it time and time again with the Pharisees, with people in positions of power, that they say in this version that we read today, it says, look beneath the surface so you can judge correctly.
Yeah.
And all the time, you know, what I think people do, unfortunately, in positions of power is elevate substance. Elevate form over substance.
Yes.
And don't bother to get underneath to find out what's really going on.
Because if you look good, if you can speak well, then you're automatically elevated into a position of power, which doesn't equate a good person at all. Because you could be on the outside, be put together, speak really well, be kind to others, but just be filled with evil and hatred. And then on the flip side, you could not speak so well, right? Maybe have like a little foul mouth, have like rap music, but love Jesus. So like, obviously loving Jesus is the most important, because you want to elevate that versus having an evil intention heart, I think is the most important.
There you go.
Do you have anything else? Oh, I will add one thing.
Oh, good.
Because growing up, I think I was in high school, right? You and mom had me write 100 affirmations, positive affirmations about myself,
Yep.
and speak them to the mirror every day. And maybe that's why I'm so self-confident, is because you forced me to do it. But like, imagine if, you know, because it's so easy to get bogged down and pushed down with everything that happens in the world. But if you have this list, doesn't have to be 100. That was like way.
Well, we said take the top 25 out of the 100.
Right. But you made me write 100.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a list of 100 anyway. But for people who don't have that, everything from the outside world just like gets in. But then knowing you have this list that you created and speaking to yourself in a mirror, you will eventually believe it about yourself. Even if you don't when you start, after probably like 3 weeks, 21 days to create a habit, you will start believing it about yourself. And that makes a world of difference on how you approach people, how you approach life, how you approach everything, I think.
Power of the spoken word.
That's
you bet.
right.
Love you, honey.
Thank you. Love you too. Okay. Do you have anything else? No?
It was great. I love it.
Okay. Me too. Okay. Well, come back tomorrow, and great job for keeping on this long. Have a good day.